Today we're going to talk about 5 things that really surprised us about Alaska.
That's right.
Welcome back to No Ordinary Path. I'm Kristen. This is John. We're a travel nurse family and we are on the road. We've been on the road for 3.5 years. Yeah. We're currently in Alberta, Canada.
We are just on the outskirts of Jasper National Park, which we're really excited to see. It has been quite the drive coming back from Anchorage.
Yes, and so we have a couple weeks left of Alaska content for you guys. I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown of what to expect in the next couple of weeks because we're traveling right now through Canada and we can't wait to bring you the Canadian content that we have, which is pretty epic. But we have to finish Alaska first. This coming weekend will be our final week in Alaska on our YouTube channel. And then the following weekend's episode will be our Alaska wrap-up. We do have a couple of Real Talk Tuesdays left. This one, we have the review of the hospital
reviews coming up.
And a blooper reel. And then we're going to take a very short break and then kick off our Canadian content after that. So that's kind of the rundown.
All that being said, Alaska was amazing. We had a fantastic time, but there were some things that kind of surprised us.
In the state of Alaska, they don't allow billboards. You're not going to see billboards anywhere, which I didn't even notice until like months in, and I'm like, huh. There's no billboards, but there are a ton of brochures everywhere you go. Every restaurant,
place.
Every RV park.
Yes, I mean, you name it.
There are brochures everywhere, and they all have beautiful pictures of these amazing once-in-a-lifetime bucket list experiences in Alaska.
Specifically, the highlight of Alaska, which is Mount Denali.
They say that only 30% of visitors that come actually get to see Mount Denali, and we didn't know that. So when we drove through the first time, it was completely cloudy. Couldn't see it. When we were in Anchorage, we had a handful of days where we could see it from afar, which is pretty impressive, but we didn't get to see it until the very last minute.
It was the last possible opportunity we had to see it, driving out, literally leaving Alaska.
If you're coming to Alaska and you want to see Mount Denali, just make sure your expectations are appropriate.
Guys, that goes for everything else too. Any major excursion you think you're going to do, you know, whether it's glaciers or helicopter tours or whatever it may be, don't always expect beautiful blue skies and sunny, you know, like the brochures are. And even YouTube channels, you guys.
Yes.
We got lucky a couple of times and the beautiful footage is really fun to share.
Oh, also the glaciers, they recede so quickly that you can't trust a picture in a brochure because it's not likely going to look like that.
It was taken 8 or 9 years ago when the glacier was 400 feet farther closer to wherever the lookout point was, and now it's another, 200 yards back.
Alaska is amazing. It's beautiful.
Still totally worth going.
Yes, as you can see in all of our content that we've put out there, but this is Real Talk, and so that's what we're bringing you.
All right, so another thing that kind of surprised us, and I'm going to specifically be speaking to Anchorage, was the high crime rate. There is unfortunately a very large homeless population in Anchorage, and not necessarily that correlates with crime, but there is where we were, and you can pull up, I know you pulled up the crime maps and stuff like that. It's a very high crime area. So just, we had a bike stolen, we had other things. We had a bike recovered from a mama bear, but just be aware of that. If you're going on a trip, there's limited places to stay in Anchorage. We'll get to that here at the end, but just lock your stuff up and kind of just know that is a kind of higher crime rate area than we were expecting.
That. Yeah, totally didn't expect that. The next one is kids. If you're traveling to Alaska with kids, there are a couple of barriers. One is there are age restrictions on a lot of the things that you might want to go do. A lot of things. So if you want to go sea kayaking, a lot of places are 16 and older. And I'm sure that there are exceptions, but this is the generalization that we found.
We looked a lot of places.
Yeah.
We did look a lot of things.
If you want to go zip lining, it's usually 12 and over. There was jet skiing, 16 and over.
Oh, even like the tours, like some of the helicopter tours and things like that.
Yeah, helicopter, and even some glacier excursions. Were age limiting for us. We got really good at finding alternatives. So instead of ice climbing, we got to hike Matanuska on the glacier, so we still got to experience the ice. Instead of sea kayaking or sea doing or whatever, we got to go on a raft ride on the Kenai River, which was really awesome. Instead of zip lining, we rode the Alyeska tram, which is not quite the same, but it was still really epic views.
Sort of. Just a slow one in a box.
I'm just saying there are alternatives. You just have to get a little bit crafty. And I think that was part of what was disappointing at first is we're a very adventurous family. Our kids are really adventurous, and it was kind of limiting on what they were able to do age-wise. And then the cost of all of the excursions was pretty prohibitive with a family of 5.
Well, if you haven't seen the cost breakdown of Alaska that Kristen put together, it's really good. Check it out up
that way.
Here.
Yes, and I have to say a little timeout because I've been called on this a few times. I'm sorry, I'm not very good sometimes at putting the cards up there. So I will try to get better when I point to make sure the card is actually there. But if you're watching on a TV, the card will not be there. Yeah. So just so you know. So cost prohibitive. There was this one excursion that I really wanted to do that was a helicopter tour to a glacier where we got to go, where you could sled dog. Yeah. Take a sled dog tour on a glacier. I mean, amazing. $500 a person, including children,
including kids. Yeah.
So $2,500 for our family was just not reasonable for us to spend the money for that.
For us, for some people it would be, and that's fine.
Exactly. But we did get to take the sled dog ride at the Iditarod headquarters.
Yeah. It's just we're a little surprised about how everything.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we went to KFC and there's the?
Oh yes, I'm gonna put a picture up here. We took a snapshot of the menu at KFC just so you can see how much food costs there.
Yeah, it's
a 5-piece tender box.
Was $20.
$20.
It was. So anyway, that's just an example of kind of everything in Alaska is a little bit more expensive. One other thing that surprised us was really how much it rained. We knew going in that Alaska had a rainy season, which is primarily July and August, but it rained almost the entire month of July. I mean, it was just, that was the hard month for us as a family because we're cooped up inside and it just rained and rained and rained and rained.
And Alaskans know that even if it's raining, you gear up and you go out anyways.
They would go out and you'd see everybody out in rain gear. It was kind of neat actually to see that.
And we had an advantage because we were there for so long, so we were able to pick and choose if there was going to be a nice clear day. That's when we went to go do our things. So if you're coming on just a short vacation, you might not get as lucky.
I would say if you could go, I would say the time to go is probably like the beginning of fall.
Yeah, I was going to say the fall.
Right at the beginning of fall. Yeah. Summer is beautiful, but it's their rainy season. And it was more rainy. Everybody told us it was more rainy that year than it had been in a long time, but still.
Midnight sun was cool to see, and it was actually pretty sunny in early June.
Yep.
And then it rained almost the entire summer.
Yeah.
And then right as we left, we had blue skies for
September
like the last
was
2
gorgeous.
weeks.
Yep.
It was gorgeous.
The last thing that really surprised me especially was the fact that boondocking was limited around the Anchorage area. There is still lots of boondocking to be had in Alaska in general, and we found some epic spots down by riverbeds, even on the side of the roads like Exit Glacier, that area. That whole Seward is a beautiful place. There's lots of boondocking opportunities there, down near Valdez,
on the way to Valdez.
All those places. But Anchorage specifically, I thought for sure there would be more. But what happens is Anchorage is kind of a peninsula.
Yeah, a little bit.
It backs right up to these giant mountains, and then there's the ocean, and there is no place whatsoever to boondock near there that's at least within an hour drive to my work. So we ended up having to stay at an RV park the whole time, which if you guys have been here with us for a while, you know kind of how we feel about that. We definitely prefer not to be in RV parks. We made it work.
Yeah, we did, and the kids met
made it work.
friends, and they had a good time. But we're very happy to be back on the road and out of an RV
park.
All right, well, I think that about wraps this up.
The one thing I did not want to experience in Alaska or Canada totally happened.
Yeah, so don't miss it.
Yeah.
Join us this weekend, and we'll see you out there.
Bye, guys.